Right now, Pittsburgh's best sports show is about to begin. Call us or tweet us. We got things to talk about on the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call.
All right, Ken, thanks very much. Hello again, everyone, and welcome to another edition of the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call here on the Borders and Borders Hotline. The number is 412-575-2600. You can also tweet us tonight at KDPomp, at Ron Cook PG. And it was a big night for basketball, so we'll start there. One good result and a lot of other bad results. The good result is that Duquesne and Keith Danbrock go on the road where they've been close the last couple of times. Tough losses at VCU and Rhode Island, and tonight they came through against George Washington. They beat them by 2. The bad news, Pitt fell behind early, dug out of it, went on a 14-0 run to take the lead, but then they ran out of gas. Miami beats them. Penn State had a lead on Michigan State. To see that go away and lose by 8. And then we saw West Virginia, the 15th ranked team, lose big at Iowa State. We're down, we're sloppy, and what's happened with Bob Huggins' team? Let's bring in Ron Cook from the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette and 93.7 The Fan, the Cook and Pony Show. Bob Huggins was ranked number 2 in the country at one point. All of a sudden, their season's falling apart.
They've lost 5 out of 6.
Yeah.
I mean, and haven't looked good doing it. They're blowing a chance to come to Pittsburgh. The first 2 rounds of the tournament this year, part of it's going to be in Pittsburgh at the arena, and for sure they'd put West Virginia there if they're decently ranked, and I think Villanova will end up here. West Virginia's blowing it. They may get sent anywhere now. They've lost 5 out of 6, and it's got to be driving Huggins crazy. Since they were 2 in the country, and we had him on the radio a week or so ago, and he just, when I talked to him, I did a story on he and Calipari in the Post-Gazette. He goes, I said, you're number 2 in the country. He goes, well, if you're number 2, you should be able to make a shot, and we can't make a shot. And they got blown out tonight.
They really did. Iowa State's an under 500 team in the conference, but they had the lead, and they just kind of ran with it and never really let West Virginia get back in the game. Pitt.
Are they going to win, Bob, or not?
Getting
Are they going to win one?
I thought tonight might be the night because Bowen, one of their top players for Miami, was out. You know, Miami could maybe take that team for granted. And they trailed. Miami led by 13, trailed by 1 with about 8 minutes left, and all of a sudden they counter run, and Pitt loses. So they're 0-10, Ron, and you know, they're getting closer.
And they got better. North Carolina on Saturday. Now, North Carolina's lost 3 or 4 in a row. Then they're at Clemson. They're looking at 0-12. They got a couple home games, Boston College maybe, Wake maybe. They're looking at 0-18. 0-18, they really are.
I think they'll be okay at the end in terms of winning at least one game. One of those teams somehow will lay an egg, or Pitt will play better, because they are playing better. I'll give them that. We'll see how it goes, but they're 0-10 so far. Hockey news of the day, and that would be the Penguins. Boy, they completed a nice month of January, that little January jump. Tonight we see the Flyers had a 2-0 lead on the Capitals, but the Capitals have responded back. They're leading 5-3. They're in here next, so that'll be a showdown of 1 versus 2, at least temporarily, Ron. And you know, the Penguins are playing like they did at the end of last year and the end of 2015-16. They're doing a good job, and they're getting back to their game.
9-3 in January. Malkin has 12 goals in January, leads the NHL. The power play's been out of sight. The penalty kill gave up a couple last night, but it's been out of sight. They're playing great hockey right now, and this is an interesting weekend because you got Washington coming here. They're right ahead of you, and then you got to go to New Jersey Saturday. They're right behind you, and then, of course, the game everybody, I think, is waiting for is Marc-Andre Fleury coming home next Tuesday night. So should be a very interesting next 5 days of hockey for the Penguins.
Aside from perhaps, let me ask you this, aside from Washington and Columbus, do you take anyone else in the East that seriously? I mean, in their division I'm talking about.
You know, the Penguins are as good as any team. I mean, to me, they are, and I don't think any team's going to want to play them in the first round, whether it's Washington, Columbus. I think they could beat anybody, but it's the same as last year. They could have lost the first-round game, first series last year. They could have definitely lost to Washington. I like the way they're playing. They do get better under Mike Sullivan the last 2 years. Their post-All-Star game record is just tremendous. I see no reason why it won't be this year.
All right, we'll talk about the Penguins and what they have coming up and what they may do at the trade deadline. That's all next. It's 412-575-2600. Let us know what you think. Give us a shout. We are live until 11 o'clock. We're right here on the Nightly Sports Call presented by Ireland Contracting.